Tensions appear to be simmering in Glasgow once again, with Michael Beale making headlines for his latest comments. The former Rangers boss has sparked fresh debate after addressing the Ibrox faithful in a way that's sure to get supporters talking. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Ali McCoist shut down suggestions that the Scottish Premiership title race is already over because of Rangers' stuttering start. After 2 victories over St Mirren and Aberdeen, Celtic are 4 points clear of the Ibrox side after the opening 2 games. Russell Martin's men sit on just 2 points after 2, 1-1 draws against Motherwell and Dundee in what has unquestionably been a disappointing beginning to the domestic campaign. McCoist reappeared on the TalkSport breakfast show this morning as he took on presenting duties in the absence of Jeff Stelling alongside Ray Parlour. The Rangers and Scotland legend was left far from pleased with the scripted manufactured by his colleagues at the radio station regarding the events of Scottish football at the weekend. Reading the script aloud, he said, "Celtic continued their perfect start to the Scottish Premiership season. They've won 2 games, man. What's going on? Perfect start." He's trying to wind me up in there, McCoist added while referring to one of the show's producers behind the scenes. He continued, winning 2-0 at Aberdeen, who themselves now sit rock bottom. Russell Martin, meanwhile, made unwanted history at Rangers as they failed to win in their opening 2 league games for the first time since 1989, which I was probably responsible for, drawing 1-1 at home with Dundee. McCoist's script then ended with the question, is the title race already over? This sparked a reaction from McCoist, who responded, "Give it a break, lads, come on." Now in Michael Beale's latest media outburst, Michael Beale has backed Russell Martin to get it right at Rangers and urged fans to give him time. The new Ibrox boss is already under pressure after drawing his first 2 league games, away to Motherwell and at home to Dundee, to slip 4 points behind Celtic already. Beating Panathinaikos and Victoria Plzen in the Champions League is not enough to buy him any credit, according to some supporters, and the Englishman is on the back foot early into his tenure. Beale knows all about the demands of the job and also being under fire from his own time in the hot seat. While he actually started well before falling away, he insists it is far too early to be judging Martin, as he needs to be given time to change things into his identity. Speaking on Sky Sports, Beale said, "I don't think we've seen everything from Russell Martin's team yet. 1 or 2 of his key new signings have not been available. They played very well, or did play very well, against Victoria Plzen last week. So it looks like they're going to make a playoff game with Salzburg or Club Brugge, which would be huge for the club. I think in the summer, the club has had a complete reset, and with that, it's going to take time for the new owners to really instill the culture they want behind the scenes, and for Russell as well. And I wish him well, it's a huge job. But I know that he's super confident, and we exchanged text messages and I wished him well." Asked if he offered any advice during that conversation, he added, "No, I think Russell's got a way that he wants to play football. I think it's different to the last coach, so give him time to implement that. I think you've got new players going into what is a huge football club. It's very unique, the demands there, so wherever you've been before, I think those players need time to settle. And I think they've also played maybe 6 or 5 or 6 games already in a short period of time. So the result of the weekend wasn't ideal, but there's a long season ahead." Martin was already questioning the mentality of some of his players after the opening Premiership draw with Motherwell. It is a similar story to previous managers, including Philippe Clement and Barry Ferguson, and there are fears it is an issue which is deep-rooted within the club. But Beale insists there was no problem with mentality during his time at the helm, either under Steven Gerrard or on his own. "No, each person experiences it in their own way," he insisted. "In the time that I was there with Steven, we are the management staff that had stability for 3 years to build. So we was able to recruit to play a certain way. We certainly hit bumps in the road, but we had the fantastic season where we were invincible. No one would question our mentality in that year or in the big European games that we had back then. When I went in, we won 18, drew 1, lost one of the first 20 games. I could never aim mentality at the players. What I do feel is it is a cauldron and the fans are very, very demanding because of the history of the club and what they've seen, and also the journey over the last 10 or 12 years to come back through the leagues. I think what the club's achieved sometimes is overlooked. They come back through the leagues, they won the league, they got to a Europa League final, they have won trophies, but the club needs stability. The new ownership going in, I think, is hugely positive for Rangers. It will give the club a real stable footing in terms of boardroom level, because there's been a lot of change the last 2 or 3 years from when I was in to follow the next managers as well, and I think, the manager deserves and needs time. Patience is not a great word that's listened to or heard in Glasgow, but that's what he needs. In other news, Rangers are on the brink of striking a deal with Real Betis to sign defender Novo Mendy, RFC News understands. Even after a flurry of summer signings, Russell Martin's recruitment drive is far from over. The Ibrox boss, facing mounting pressure after a poor start to the domestic campaign, is determined to reinforce his backline before the transfer window closes. Sources indicate the club are deep in talks with Betis and will need to pay in the region of £5 million to secure the highly rated 20-year-old. Mendy, who is keen on the move to Glasgow, according to Sky Sports journalist Sacha Tavalieri, would become the latest addition in what has been a significant defensive overhaul. Rangers have already brought in Max Aarons, Nasser Giga, and Emmanuel Fernandez in recent weeks, but Martin remains intent on adding further depth and versatility to his squad. A centre-back by trade, Mendy also has the ability to operate as a left-back, a flexibility that could prove valuable given Rangers' need for cover on both flanks. However, the signing comes with undeniable risk. The Senegalese defender has only 6 senior appearances for Real Betis to his name, and unlike Giga, who arrived at Ibrox with a league title and 14 Champions League appearances, Mendy has yet to prove himself at the elite level. The physical intensity and tactical demands of the Scottish Premiership will present a steep learning curve, and the £5 million fee, a considerable investment for a player with such limited top-flight experience, adds an extra layer of pressure. With the club already reporting a £17 million loss in 2024, financial caution will be as important as on-field results. Still, Rangers clearly believe in Mendy's long-term potential. At 20 years old, he offers the raw attributes and athleticism to develop into a key figure if given the right environment and coaching. For Martin, it is a calculated gamble, one that could either provide the defensive stability he urgently needs or leave the club answering questions about a costly misstep. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so make sure you join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.